Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties in trying to get into the free conference site here. So thank you so much for joining me today and not leaving. Well, my name is Leah Holtrop, and in today's training, we're going to explore our tagging solutions, which are RapidTag, TAG EVAC, and the TAG app. Now, due to time, we're going to be kind of following more of a high-level overview, so this is going to be more like a just-in-time training where I'll be covering just the main functionalities, and then in the process I'll provide you some tips so that you can get the most out of each solution that we cover today. Now, at any time during the training, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself to ask that question, or you can send a message through the chat. All right, so the first solution we're going to go over is the RapidTag. So we're Salamander Live. If you're familiar with our Salamander Live solution, that's our cloud-based solution where you can go in and pre-credential all of your resources. And that's also where you can go in and set permissions for app and software access, as well as go in for event management. RapidTag is going to be used for everyone else that does not have a Salamander ID tag. So this is going to be for unplanned volunteers, mutual aid, or maybe even the media. It's also for when you need a event-specific credential. So for example, or a tornado comes through your town and you have a large number of volunteers who show up for debris removal. You can use RapidTag to quickly and easily print them a event-specific tag for all these volunteers. And I hear there's some background noise. If you haven't done so, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Now, when it comes to creating that tag in RapidTag, there's a number of ways you can do that. First, you can either scan their driver's license. That's the quickest and easiest way. The other way is you can manually enter their information into the system, and then you can print their tag on the spot. Now, not only can RapidTag credential personnel, but you can also use it to check in and print credentials for equipment and collections. So a collection in Salamander terms is basically a group of resources. This includes both people and equipment that will be tracked in the system as a single resource. Now, we typically see RapidTag being used in a staging environment or reception area. So let me just pull this up. So RapidTag, you'll see on here, I'm going to use version 5. So this is our newest release of RapidTag. This version here allows for the two-way syncing of all your connected devices. For example, if you had multiple RapidTag stations, let's say you had 3 different RapidTag computers set up at your reception area to check people in, all that data is going to be connected and be synced through Salamander Live. And all that data is shared from RapidTag Station 1, 2, and 3 between all the computers. Again, you'll need to have internet connection for that sharing of data to happen. So with RapidTag, I'm just going to quickly go through some of the main functionalities available in here. So first things first is you're going to start an event. And here I'm going to quickly create one. I'm going to call this Training Day 1, and then start the event. As simple as that. Next, you'll see in here you've got your different tabs on here for the different types of resources that you can enter into the database. So you have people in here, you've got equipment, and this is your collections, and then organization. So if you want to do this beforehand, you can enter in some organizations that you know that will be coming to assist with your events or your incidents. The great thing about the syncing of your RapidTags, especially with version 5, is that as you start adding in people and equipment and you create those different organizations with these resources that you're entering in, those organizations, this database will also be shared between all the computers. Now, if I just enter in the organization in my computer here, that information is not going to be shared between all the other Rapid Tag computers that you have on your account. The only way is by creating that profile either for person, equipment, or collection, and once you save that, and that organization will be saved into everybody's database. So in here, it's as simple as scanning a driver's license. So let me just plug in my scanner. I've got a driver's license right here. It's not a real one. But here it is. I'm going to scan this in. You'll see in here that it's going to parse out all the information that's embedded into that driver's license. So depending on your state, so each state has different data that's embedded into that barcode. So for example, the state of Minnesota, all that's in our driver's license barcode is first name, last name, date of birth, and driver's license. I know some other states also have address that is contained in that barcode. So depending on what you're looking to collect for each of your people that you're checking into the system, you have the ability to enter in additional information. Some information that we recommend you put in here is phone number. So again, you've got a way to communicate with this individual if need be. So I definitely put in a phone number for that individual. Another piece of information is going to be that email address. And some of this information will be available in the report. So as much information as you can collect on each person, the better it's going to be. Especially if you're looking at, for volunteer activity, sending in reports to FEMA for reimbursement. They do require to have specific information for each of the volunteers that show up to assist. The driver's license number should populate in here. Again, I didn't use a real driver's license, so that's not populating in here. And then the address. Something that we recommend you putting in here is the address for the individual. And then down at the bottom here, you have other options that you can enter in for each person. So in here, you'll notice that the assignment in here is checked in. So in the options, and this is before you even start let me just close out of this. Even before you even start the event, you should go in here and double check that your assignment is set to the assignment that you want. So I have mine as checked in. That means that these people are available to work. You can put this in staging if you want. So whatever checked in assignment that you want to put in, this is where you want to go in, is file and option. So again, do this before you start the training. You also have this option to enable checkout. Once you click this checkbox, again, I can't do this because I've already started the event, but if you click this checkbox, what's going to happen is that for each person that you check into Rapid Tag, you'll see that there's going to be 2 assignments in there, checked in and off scene. So again, that's going to be in by default based off of your selections right here. If you uncheck this box and you start the event, you will only have 1 in there, which is the checked in assignment or staging assignment if that's what you used. What this really does is just allows you, when you print that tag, it allows you to scan that tag a secondary time, and what's going to happen is the system is going to immediately put that person to the off-scene assignment. So again, it's a great option to go in there and set that up if that's something that you want your Rapid Tag users to be able to do, is to check people out of the event. Let's just go back and rescan this again. So you'll see there. Next on here is rate. So with rate, for each person that you're entering into Rapid Tag, this rate field works similarly to the standard rate field that you see in Salamander Live for each person and equipment. Now in Rapid Tag, you're only able to collect rate information for people. This rate is basically going to start calculating for this person once I click the finish button. This basically means when they're checked in, this rate's going to start calculating. So you can put in whatever rate you want. FEMA's is, I think, $27 for reimbursement. Next on here is expiration date. So for each person that you enter into the system, you have the ability to add an expiration date. So this is basically an expiration for this tag. Remember, every tag that you create within Rapid Tag is an event-specific tag. So it's a temporary tag for them to use for that event or that incident. So that's the difference between a Rapid Tag badge as well as the versus the Salamander ID tag, which is your permanent tag. So in here, if you put in if you want this to expire for tomorrow, we can set this up for tomorrow. Or if your operational period for your event is running for 5 days, you can put this tag to expire within 5 days if you want to. And over here is going to be the time. So if you want this to end at 9 o'clock a.m., 9 p.m., whatever that time that is that you want this to end, you can put that information in. Next one here, you'll see is title. So what is this person's title? Are they a volunteer? You can put that in there. Here I'm just going to put volunteer. Their role is a volunteer. Or if their role is debris cleanup, so we'll just use that example that we did for the tornado, debris cleanup. And then if there's a specific location this person is going to be going to for debris cleanup, you can put that information right here as well too. The great thing about these fields right here is that as you start entering in titles, roles, and locations, those will be selectable in the drop-down list here for the next person to enter into the system. Okay? Once you're done entering the information for each person in here, or for this person, just simply click Finish. Now at the bottom, I set it up where my Rapid Tag is going to print immediately a tag when I click Finish. And it's going to use my print settings that I put within that options window. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. It's going to print that tag, which I have set up to print to Microsoft PDF so you guys can see a sample tag on there. So now you'll see on here, so I'll just put here RT test tag. So you'll see now this person's been entered into the system. You'll see this basic information that populates right here. Let me just pull up that tag. And here's a sample of that tag. So again, this is the default tag design that I'm using. So with Rapid Tag, you do have the ability to create a custom tag if you'd like by utilizing our ID Designer software, or you can contact your local sales rep and then they can help you in designing that. There is a small fee for that custom design. But if you wanted, let's say, you wanted different information on here, you want the address on here as well too, you could have that information printed on the actual tag. Any questions so far on Rapid Tag? I'll open up the floor for questions on checking people in. All right. Next on here is equipment. Equipment, the process is done exactly the same. More than likely, I mean, most equipment you're not going to have some sort of tag with that. The tags on equipment, those are usually generic, or those are specific for that piece of equipment that belongs to that equipment that shows their serial number and things like that. That's not going to be scannable into the system. If that equipment tag is labeled with a Salamander ID tag, yes, you can scan that into the system. But more than likely, if you are collecting equipment information with Rapid Tag, more than likely you'll be adding those in manually through the system. So again, the same option is going to be done on the people side. There's a manual add option. So you can go in there and start collecting information on the equipment that are there for that event, and you can start tracking those and being accountable for those as well too. So for example, if this piece of equipment that we have on here for debris cleanup, so let's say it's a backhoe that we're going to bring in to help with debris removal, you can put that into the system. You can put the organization in which that equipment belongs to. So let's say we've got Douglas County, let's say. So that backhoe belongs to Douglas County. You can put a type in here if you want. You can put manufacturing make, model. You can put the in-service date in here. You can put expiration date, same as what you did for person that you checked in. You can say that this piece of equipment, this tag right here, expires the next day at $1,400. Really up to you on how you want to do that. Same thing, you'll see the assignment on here is going to be that checked in assignment, and that's going to be that default. And then here you have a role. So similar to checked in people, you can put a role in for this piece of equipment. So here I'm just going to put debris removal. And if there's a specific location this equipment is going to be located in, you can put that in here as well too. Now, I didn't cover this, but this is going to be the same for people. You are able to create a new organization on here. So if you look in here, you're like, oh, I don't see the organization, it's not listed. You can go here and create a brand new organization in here as well too by clicking the new button. And then all you would need to do is enter in the organization information. So this database that you see within RapidTag is not going to be the same database you see in Salamander Live. That's always a question I get is this database I'm entering in RapidTag here going to be connected somehow to your Salamander Live database? And the answer is no. So this is a temporary database, which means that this database is only available for this event. The moment you end the event, all this information is going to basically be gone from your RapidTag software. Now, all that data that you've entered into the system will be available in your reports that you can view within Salamander Live. So in here, just enter in your organization information and then click Finish. All right. So we're going ahead and click Finish on here. And now we've got one piece of equipment that has been entered into the system here, that's been checked in. Questions on equipment? Next is collection. So I kind of like doing people and equipment first because if you know how to add people, you know how to add equipment, you'll be able to easily create collections. So the collections on here, first thing first that you want to do is click Add. And then what you're going to do in here is going to name your collection. So what is this specifically that you're looking at? So if this is a cleanup crew, you can put this as a cleanup crew, cleanup crew 1. The organization that they're with. So let's say they're from the Baptist Church. Their role is debris removal, or cleanup. And then click Next. And you can enter in all other information in here as well too if you want. Click Next, and then here you can add in your people and equipment that are a part of this collection. So from here you can scan in their driver's license. So very simple, you can scan in their driver's license. Again, same process populates on here. Again, you have the ability to enter in additional information, rate, etc. You'll see that the role on here is grayed out because they are part of that collection. This is going to be grayed out since their role is going to be the same as that role for that collection that you created. And then you also have the ability to add in equipment. So we'll just go ahead and add another individual. So it shows that there's a couple people in this collection. And then same thing for equipment. If you had equipment, you can scan in that equipment as well too. And then at the top, you have the ability to select who is the leader. So if you wanted to communicate with that group, you can check one as the leader in here. And you'll know if it's Jamil, you can say, okay, Jamil is the person that we need to contact if we need to move this crew to a different area to help with cleanup. Down at the bottom here, you have your options for printing. So printing in here, you can click Print when entered. What this does is it prints one tag for the entire group. And then you have the other option of also printing collection members. So what this does is it's going to print one tag for the entire group and then individual tags for each member of that group. And what that does is it allows you to, let's say if this group does get split up because they're being needed somewhere else, they have their own individual tag that can now be scanned in using any of our other tracking solutions. So there's a lot of benefits to creating collections within RapidTag, but there is a con to that as well too. And the con is that the tag that you create here, so this collection tag that you create within RapidTag, that is a static tag, which basically means that in that tag, these individuals are going to be embedded in that tag. that tag, each time you scan it, it will always move those same resources into that new assignment that you put them in. So that's why that's one con to that. Now we're going to be covering the TAG app, which allows you to create a collection tag. Now that tag barcode is going to be more dynamic. So we'll cover that when we go over the TAG app in a little bit here. Once you're done in here, you can click print. I'm not going to use tags, but you can click print. And then what's going to happen is that your collection now has been added into the system. You'll see that there's an icon next to your collection. And you'll go into, if you go into each of your different areas on here, you'll see that icon follows the resources. And it just lets you know that these individuals are part of a collection. And in the assignment, you'll see that they're a part of Cleanup Crew 1. So if you're unsure on where this cleanup crew is assigned to, you'd have to go to collections to see where they're at. Now, the great thing with Rapid Tag and that syncing capability is that if you had the track app running at the same time and you join your track app to this event, in the track app, as you know, you have the ability to add in multiple assignments and add people into the track app and move them around to different assignments. The great thing with two-way sync is that all that data within that track app, all those assignments, people that are being checked into the track app, and all those movements are also going to appear within your Rapid Tag solution. So it's a great advantage to use version 5, which is this version I'm showing you, versus our previous version. The update for that is going to be free. So if you currently have version 4, you're looking at updating to version 5, either contact our support line or contact your local sales rep, and they'll walk you through that process of updating your software to our newest version, so that you can basically get the full benefit of version 5 and the syncing capabilities. Any questions with Rapid Tag before we move on to Rapid Tag EVAC? No questions? All right, you'll see on here at the bottom, you'll see that my data is being sent to Salamander Live here. So that's a great thing. So after this, once we go through all the different solutions, I'll show you the reporting capabilities that's available within Salamander Live. All right. So moving along. Our next solution is Rapid Tag EVAC. So as you saw, where Rapid Tag is meant for everyone going into an incident or event, Rapid Tag EVAC is for those that are coming out of the event or the incident. Now this is normally used and set up at pods, at shelters, and med tents to credential and count for patients or evacuees. So similar to Rapid Tag, in Rapid Tag EVAC, to check someone in, all you will need to do is scan their driver's license. And of course, you also have the ability to manually enter in their information if they don't have some sort of ID on them. And then from there, there's additional information that you can collect on each person that you're scanning into the system. You can select their triage level. You can select their destination, meaning where they're going to. You can also collect special needs information. There's lots of other information you can collect on here. So not only that, you are also able to group family members, and this does include pets. So for example, if you had a family of 3 that's coming in, so you've got the mother, the husband, and then you've got their child, you can basically enter them all into the system and connect them together, link them together, so that in the system, they're in it as a separate registration, but when you go into the actual family side of things, you'll be able to see that they're all connected. So if you need, for reunification purposes, you'll be able to see that, you know, Charlotte is the child of Gary and Lynn. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at Rapid Tag EVAC. So Rapid Tag EVAC, you'll see this is version This is the older version. So this one has not been updated yet to work similarly to RapidTag. So with RapidTag EVAC, it is a one-way sync. What that means is that the data that you enter into your database right here is just going to be sent up to Salamander Live. There's no data sharing, so the information from Salamander Live, let's say you have 2 RapidTag stations, those 2 RapidTag stations will not be communicating with one another. So they'll be operating on their own. So whoever you check into this system here, the other RapidTag EVAC station will not know who you checked in. But on the management side, so if you're managing the event through Salamander Live, you'll be able to see all of that data and know exactly who's all been checked in from all of your RapidTag stations. Now, we're not going to cover this in this training today, but there are some initial setup processes. I've got all the trainings for that. There's videos, there's user guides that kind of walk you through the initial setup. So with RapidTag EVAC, you do have to go into Salamander Live version 1 to go in and kind of set up some medical reference data. That information includes like gender, facilities, so these are all facilities for where these people are being sent to, special needs, and then triage levels. So those, if this is your very first time using RapidTag, you're not going to be able to see that information in the system until you go into Salamander Live version 1 and add that data into the system. But I'm not going to cover that today due to time, but I did want to state that. So similar to RapidTag, first thing you want to do in here is to start the event. So you can name the event. So for this, I'm going to name this Training Day 1, same as what I did for RapidTag, and then click OK. Oh, let me make this bigger so you can see this. So here's my event. So you'll see in here, you'll see that there's an option for me to manually register a person. So similar to RapidTag, the default assignment that this is going to go under is registered. So if you have your RapidTag EVAC connected to any of your other solutions, tracking solutions such as Track App and Command, you'll see an assignment called registered. So you'll know that that's coming from RapidTag EVAC. The same thing when you're looking at scanning in a driver's license, simply just scan their driver's license and it's going to populate on here. So you'll see on here, again, whatever information that's available within that driver's license barcode will be parsed through and then mapped to their correct areas on here. So you'll see first name, last name, if there's date of birth, if there's an address in that barcode, it'll populate on here. So at the top here, you can choose the class. So if this is an adult, if this is a child, infant, or pet. So you'll see you have other options in here. Here's the gender. So again, if you did not set up your medical reference data in Salamander Live, your gender field on here is going to be blank. Because I set this up already, you'll see in here I have it set to unknown, female, and male. Again, it's up to you and how you guys want to set this up in the system. If you want to put it as UFM, you can do that. Enter an address for the individual. Now, for line 2 here, we like to utilize this for additional information. So if this was a child or even a pet, you can put guardianship information in here. So if this was a child, you can put in here guardian is James Hendrickson, and then you can put a phone number in here as well too. There is limited space or limited characters that you can put in here, so you kind of have to be leery on that, on how much characters you can put in here, but you can put that information into the system if you want to. And then next, if you go to next, it's going to go to your tracking. So you'll see in here, there's going to be a generic ID that's created for this individual. You'll see there's a priority level. So if you're tracking priority triage levels for each person you're registering into the system, you have the ability to do that. Again, this piece right here will be blank unless you complete that medical reference data information in Salamander Live first. Same thing with destination. These destinations were entered in Salamander Live, so that's what's available right here. The great thing about this is live, so if there's a destination in here, let's say the see here, the Moosewood Community Shelter. You've been sending a lot of people over to the Moosewood Community Shelter. They radio in that said that they're full and you need to move them to a different location. And you see in here you don't have another shelter in here. You need to add a new shelter. You can go into Salamander Live, enter that in, and then you can sync up the information. So there's an option in here you can sync up. I'll show you it right here. Under Actions to get external data, and that's going to pull that new data into your Rapid TAG EVAC computer. That now you are able to select that new location that you've added into the system. So this is the option right there. Let me just go back and do this. So destination, we're just going to select the community shelter. If there's any special needs, same thing. This has to be done through Salamander Live. Just added some basic ones in here, but you can put your entire list in here if you want. And you'll see here the only assignment on here that's available for selecting is registered. Going next is miscellaneous, so you can enter in additional information such as a social security number, maiden name. This is kind of great to enter into the system, especially if you have multiple Jamil Hendricksons in the system. You have something else to kind of distinguish this person from the other Jamil Hendrickson in the system. And then, of course, you have additional information you can put in here. And next is that family tab. So as I mentioned earlier, you have the ability to basically keep your family together. So there's a way for you to do that, and it's done right here. So right here, the first person you enter into the system will always be head of family. Everybody else that you enter will now be a part of that family. So let's go ahead and add in, when I put her as caregiver, sorry, this is adult. Let me go in here and let's add her daughter. Let's say her daughter is Lila Hendrickson. And then child, put in here a guardian, Jamil Hendrickson. So there's the maximum right there. So what did I have? So I'm missing 2 characters. So in here, again, you have your character max. So 555-555-5. Okay. So there it is. You can put that in there as well, so you can remove the guardian if you don't have enough space for that. Next on here, you can do tracking. Are they going to the same area? If she's hurt, you can put their priority and move them to, let's say if she's hurt, she's going to the medical center. You can put that she's going to the medical center. She's got any special needs, you can enter that in. Same thing, miscellaneous information. And then when you go to the family tab, you'll see that Lila Hendrickson has been added as a family member under Jamil Hendrickson. The same process can be done for pets as well too. So if you want to add a pet in here, let's say it's Fluffy, and then you could put dog, pet, female. Since they don't allow pets at the community shelter, she has to go to a animal shelter. So here it is. And then there, now you've got your family right here that's entered into the system. So Jamil, Lila, and then Fluffy. So you'll see that the locations in which they're going to. And all of this information, once you click finish, I mean, you have the ability to print them a tag as well too. And this information, again, is sent up. You'll see in here, status is online, sent up to Salamander Live for those that are off scene that can view those reports and get a full list of everybody that's been registered and checked out of the area or the event or the incident. Any questions on Rapid TAG EVAC? Questions? All right. No questions. I'm going to go into the TAG app. So let me just pull this up really quick here. So the TAG app. So what is the TAG app? So the TAG app is it's basically our mobile tag solution. And what that means is that you can use your mobile device as your tag. And not only that, you are able to create a collection, again, that group of resources, and you can generate a collection tag as well. So you have the ability to create an individual tag and a collection tag. Now, unlike that rapid tag collection barcode, as I said earlier, that one's static. The one that you create within the TAG app is a dynamic barcode, since you are able to update the resources within your collection at any time. And when you update those resources, what's going to happen is that when you generate that collection barcode, it generates a brand new one based off of the data that you entered into your application. Other features that you have available within the TAG app is the ability to remotely check in to an incident or event. What this does, it allows those that are managing accountability in the back end to know who's coming to the incident and who's going to be coming to assess. So this information, I mean, the TAG app, it provides a lot of different information at the top, within like a short amount of time. So you've got your TAG app, you can check into the event. If you don't have your actual hard tag on you, you can pull up the TAG app and then populate your ID tag and have them scan it into the track app so that now you can start being tracked within the system. So let me just go ahead and pull this up. Close out of that. So let me just join in really quick here. So give it a second to populate. All right, so with the TAG app, so I've got the Android version up here. So the TAG app is one of the solutions we have not updated yet, so that the iOS platform and the Android platform will look the same. So there are some differences if you're using the iOS. So if you're following along and you're looking at this, you're like, Leah, this looks totally different than the iOS. Yes, I totally understand that. It does look a little bit different. In Android, all the icons don't have any actual indicator. There's no actual icon name, but within iOS, you'll see that there's an actual name for each of these icons. So this is your identity, collection, I believe this is incident, and then this is history. So once you log into the TAG app, the very first page that you'll go into is going to be the incident page. So what this does is it basically is going to download all the in-progress events within Salamander Live onto your phone. So this is set up to only download events that have been running in the past 30 days. So it's something that we are working on removing that. As we know, there are some events that run longer than 30 days. And so that is going to be in a future release to remove that limit. But as of today, it only pulls down the last 30 days events. Before we start going into remotely joining events, I'm going to take a look at the identity field. So the identity field, this is basically your information. When you log into the TAG app, basically what it does is it pulls your profile from Salamander Live. So here's just a basic profile. You're going to see your picture in here, your name, your organization, and then any qualifications that's been assigned to you within Salamander Live in your profile. Under each qualification, if there's an expiration date for your qualifications and a qualification number, you'll see that that's going to be listed here as well too. So this kind of gives you that at a glance view to see when your qualifications are expiring. You go down to the bottom, you'll see your status on here for your organization, the last time that you accessed the TAG app, or I'm sorry, the last time that your record was updated, and then your contact information. So you should see your email and your phone number. Again, this information will only appear if this information is entered in your profile in Salamander Live. Next we have is collection. Oops, I apologize. Before we do that, at the top here, you'll see that there's some icons at the top here. These icons are going to be similar to what you'll see in iOS, except in iOS you're not going to see this heart icon. You're just going to see this more option. So this is how you generate your ID, your barcode, your individual barcode. Is you want to tap on that icon, and that's going to populate your individual barcode. So this barcode is going to be similar to the barcode that you have on your actual credential that was printed from Salamander Live. And now this barcode, you can basically hand this off to a track, anybody that has a track app user, they can scan this in and add you into the event. Other things you can view on here is medical information. So if you have medical information entered in on your profile, you'll be able to view that, as long as you also have the ability to view medical information. So that's a permission setup that has to be done within Salamander Live under your user profile. So your user profile is different than your actual personnel profile. Your personnel profile is kind of like your personal record. The user profile is basically where your administrators are giving you access, let's say for the TAG app, and for you to utilize the TAG app and access the information with the TAG app. If I put in this is going to require everybody to put in their password. If you put in your password, type this in, I got a really long password. Type login. Oh, the right one. Not the right password, I apologize on that. But once you type in your password, it's going to pull up just your base information in there. So if you have blood type, that's going to pull up your resting, pulse, that's going to pull up in there, and things like that. If there are allergies, medications you're taking, things like that will populate in here. So I apologize. I don't remember what my password is. I have so many of them for multiple accounts that I have. So, all right. Next on here, you'll see at the top, you can change users. So again, this is to log you out of the system. Moving along, we've got is collection. So this is where I was stating that you have the ability to create a collection using your TAG app. So this basically just states that within the TAG app, you can remotely join an event either individually, so right here individually, or as a collection. So in here, I can rename my collection. So by default, your collection name is going to be your last name. So right here, my last name is Trainer 2, so that's why this is putting up as Trainer 2. So in here, I can put this as, I'm just going to do the same thing on here. Let's do strike. So let's say this is a strike team. I can put that in there, strike team 1. I can tap the check mark, and now strike team 1 is my collection. Now you as the user of the TAG app will always be added into this collection. So now you have the ability to start scanning in barcodes, or you can download people from Salamander Live. So again, people and equipment. At the top here, you'll see if there's, again, you tap that more option, and now you can download resources. So in here, I can add in these individual people. I'm just going in, selecting a couple different people in here. There's no rhyme or reason for this. And then tap the check mark. So now I've got these people that's been added into my collection. I can go in and also add in resources. So let's say this is the resource. You can also scan a barcode as well too. So if you've got barcodes, you can scan that in. So there, right here is the scan icon. So I can tap that. So I'm just scanning in a barcode that I have. So now you've got 2 pieces of equipment that's been added to this collection. And then once you're done adding your collection, you basically have the option to generate that barcode. So at the top here, you'll see that, again, it's that same icon. If you tap on that, this is going to be your Strike Team 1 barcode. You'll see that this is a lot more dense than your individual one since it's collecting more data. You've got 6 different resources in there, and those resources have their particular information within their profile. So that's all being embedded into this barcode. And now you can basically have this barcode be scanned in through any of our other tracking solutions, such as the Track app and Command. Questions? Now, if you want to delete your collection, just tap the menu and then delete collection. Or if you want to go in and view details for each person, you can do that, and or you can delete them at the top here as well too. So for each person you download, you have the ability to view their details, delete them from the collection if they're no longer going to be a part of your collection. That's where that dynamic collection piece comes in. And you also have the ability to view their medical information as long as you have permissions to do so. So there's the information. Now I do want to notate that this right here, these are clickable. So if you tap on that, you can basically call them, and you can email them as well too. Questions on this so far? All right, last but not least, you have the ability to join the event. So again, this goes back to that default landing page. So again, these are all incidents or events that's being pulled from Salamander Live within the last 30 days. So if you're looking at remotely joining an event, it's as simple as tapping on the event you want to join. So let's say I want to join this 429 test event. Just tap on that. You'll see that the details for that event is going to populate on here. How many resources have currently checked in? When did this event start? How long it's been running for? And then you'll see at the top, there's an option for you to join the event. Now, because we created a collection, when you tap join, it's going to ask you if you want to join as an individual, so you yourself, or do you want to join in as your collection? So you have 2 options on here. So I'm going to join in as myself. And then right here, you'll see that it's going to populate your information in here. So it's going to show you your current assignment and your elapsed time. So there's a little delay in here on my end. But you'll see down at the bottom here, there's going to be a timestamp for when you joined the event remotely. So it's going to put you into the checked-in assignment. So that's one thing with the TAG app is that your default assignment is going to be checked in. So if you're utilizing Rapid Tag and Command, utilizing the Track app in Command, you'll see an assignment called Checked In, and that's going to be from your TAG app users. Now, if you go to the event side, you're going to see your details on there. So my internet connection is not very good here, so I apologize on that. It's taking a little bit to pull down my data, but your data should be time-stamped in here. Now, if we go into Salamander Live, we'll be able to see this information. Once we go to this 4.29 test event, we'll be able to see myself checked in to that event. And I'll also up here on those reports. If you tap the back button at the top there, it's going to allow you to leave the event. So if I leave the event, I can leave the event there. Last on here is the assignment history. So this is, your event history. So these are going to be for all events that you've joined in using your TAG app. So these are events that you remotely checked in. So it's going to list them in chronological order. So I know it doesn't list it on here. This is or it is listed here. So I know that there was a bug in here that wasn't listed in chronological order, but it looks like we fixed that. But you can tap on that, and it's going to show you again your assignments in which you were moved into when you were a part of this event. So again, it's not populated on here. I apologize. My internet connection is really bad. Questions on the TAG app? All right, so let's pull up Salamander Live. And let's take a look at the reports in here. So under events, go to events here, you'll see the events that we created. So there's Rapid Tag Training Day 1. This is the one that we created within Rapid Tag. And Rapid Tag, let me just send this over. I forgot to sync this up. So I forgot to mention, Rapid Tag EVAC, you do have to manually click the button. It's not like Rapid Tag where you have the ability to set the system to sync every 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So you do have to manually click that button. Let me just refresh this and see it sync over. And there it is. See Training Day 1, there's Rapid Tag EVAC. So you have the ability, I mean, if you want to join these two together, you definitely can, especially if you got a track app solution such as, or a track app or command that you're running as well too. We'll just look at these individually. So in here, there's kind of a delay, so I apologize. Syncing delay. Well, that's syncing up. Over here at the top, you'll see that there's the report option. So if you click on the report icon, these are all the different reports that you can pull for this event. So this Train Day 1, here it is. It's pulling up now all the data from Rapid Tag. So you'll see all the individuals that's been checked into the system. There's that checked in assignment. And then you'll see your resources that's checked in here. So your people, your equipment, and your collections. And of course, you've got your people activity report that you can pull. This is a great one that shows you, again, by rate, who's checked into your event. So this is one of the main reports I recommend you view. So it shows you the event, their name, their title, their organization, their assignments, they're part of a collection, their time in, any time outs, and then any rates and their calculations so far. So total right here, so rates $27 an hour. So far they've racked up $18.14 for being a part of this event. And you'll see there's a total cost at the bottom here. So a great report for looking at how much it's costing to have your volunteers there. If we go to the Rapid Tag EVAC event, give it a second to upload. You have your patient activity reports down at the bottom here. So you've got a PDF document, if you like, to view, or an Excel document. So here it is. It just shows you who has been registered into Rapid Tag EVAC. And it'll show their priority, the time in, time out. So again, some basic reporting capabilities for the patient activity. And then if we go to that 429 test one, let's just go out a little bit. So I left the event, but with the TAG app, and I should probably pull this up. I have this on here. I didn't cover this. So with the TAG app itself, it does leverage, or the GIS mapping does leverage the TAG app and allow you to see like real time of where your resources are located during an event. So this is utilizing the track app and the TAG app itself. So when you check in through the TAG app, what's going to happen is that there's going to be a blue pin that's going to display on the GIS map that we just saw in Salamander Live. Each time your device moves I want to say more than 50 meters, which is about, a quarter mile, 0.3 miles, Salamander Live will update their location on the map. If you click on the pins, it's going to give you additional information. So on here, if we went back into this event, okay, now you'll see there's that data. So just take a second for it to download. But let me just go back and join that event again. Come on, internet connection, work with me. I don't have the newest Android device. This is my demo phone. It's a really, really, really old one. I should probably get this updated. Come on. But it should pull up a pin on here. Once I join in, it's going to show a pin on here. And I'm not in Wisconsin. I'm in Minnesota over here. So there should be a blue pin that populates over here. So the event here was started by Danny, who's in our marketing team, and she's out in Michigan. So if I join this, it's going to show me pinned way over here. I mean, that's a long way to get to this event, but I mean, realistically, that wouldn't work. But in the case of your event that's localized, you'll see all your tag app pins on here, all blue. You'll see your track apps on here as yellow, and then your event, the actual location of your event will be in red. Okay, so that's how this data is going to populate within the GIS map. Any questions on everything that we've covered today? So we covered Rapid Tag, we covered Rapid Tag EVAC, we covered the Tag app, and also partially the GIS mapping functionality and some of the reporting. What questions do you guys have for me today? Any questions? Anybody utilizing these solutions differently in the way that I went through them today? There's multiple ways that you can utilize, our solutions. I know some people are using Rapid Tag right now to check in people, to manage COVID. So multiple ways you can leverage our solutions to help with your event or incident. No questions? All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. I know I'm taking you guys a little bit over, but I had a late start here due to my computer issues here. But I just want to thank you all so much for being on the call today. As always, I appreciate it. You're going to get a evaluation. If you can complete that, it's going to be a e-evaluation that's going to come through your email. You can provide me some feedback. Also, let me know what you'd like us to cover. We kind of have everything set up right now till July, but if there's other items that you want us to cover, let us know. If you and your organization needs, training, please contact your local sales rep, and we can schedule those as well too to provide you just-in-time training to help you guys get acclimated to your solutions that you've purchased. Matt, thank you all so much. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk with you guys on the next call. Thank you all.
Thank you.